have been targeting Hazaras for 10 years. Some reasons they target Hazaras is the way they look. And most Hazaras are Shia. Raise your hand if you think this is unfair that Taliban kills innocent people just for looking different or believing in a different way of Islam.
So raise your hand if you think this is unfair.
Hazaras have been targeted since the 1900s. When Abdul Rahman Khan was the ruler of Afghanistan, Hazara killings were ordered from him. Ever since then, it's gotten worse. When Abdul Rahman Khan was the leader, the Hazara population was at 70% in Afghanistan. Since all the suicide bombings and killing, the population has been all the way down to 10 to 20%. Before we wrap this up, we ask for your help to evacuate the Hazaras to safety.
Thank you very much. Next, we're going to hear from Ms. Alia and Ms. Kiana. Make sure you're holding the mic close to your mouth.
I came here today to talk about the Hazaras being bombed and killed in Kabul, Afghanistan. Sometimes I overhear my parents talking about the killing in Afghanistan. It hurts my heart because I know that they are bombing near our family, cousins, friends, and many more of us. One thing I don't get is that the Taliban has taken innocent souls from their families. Every day my parents tell me how lucky I am to have a house, a family, and be able to go to school and get an education in America. The sad thing is that the Taliban has been fighting with Afghanistan since 1996 and took over again on August 15, 2022. They changed the way men and women have to look and dress. And now the little kids are afraid to go to school due to the cause of the bombing, war, killing, and the Taliban. Thank you.
Next, we will hear from Ms. Kiana and Ms. Sobel.
I get discriminated because I wear a hijab.
I get discriminated because of the way I look.
I am Sunni and I am Christian. You're stereotypical Afghan.
I'm a Shia and I'm a Hazara, not the type of person you think of when you imagine an Afghan.
Two different types of people, united under one country, one religion, and one culture. We're both just teenagers.
If you are only teenagers and people who are older than us are considered wiser, why can't you do the same?
Next, we'll hear from Ms. Kiana alone.
Hi, I'm Kiana Mahmoudi and I came here to Dakota to talk about the situation that's happening in Afghanistan. If you don't know what's happening in Afghanistan, I will tell you. Hazaras are being killed in Afghanistan due to the cause of what they look like and what they believe in. Well, they get discriminated towards the eyes too. I'm a Hazara. I get discriminated towards my eyes, the way I look, the way I dress, and the way I wear hijab. The sad thing is that no one's talking about this. There was a suicide attack in Kabul, Afghanistan, killing about 35 innocent people. We did not find her, said a woman looking for her sister. Her sister was only 19 years old. The Taliban has been destroying a beautiful country, has been killing families, bombing schools and hospitals. The Taliban struck a center on Friday that was packed with hundreds of people. I hope you learned about what's happening in Afghanistan.
Ms. Sobel Hussaini, go ahead and give your speech.
Hello everyone, I am Sogra Hosseini. Today I'll be presenting a speech that is written by Sakhila Tatif, showing my regards towards the Hazara genocide that has been going on for decades. Beside all this burning pain, behind all this heavy sorrow, Hazaras play a very important role for Afghanistan's transition to a bright future. These people are martyrs in the way of making life better for everyone. The blood of Hazara girls is the light of future in this property. The hard work the Hazaras are doing to enlighten Afghanistan is commendable and should give a positive feelings to these people themselves. There are 100 ways to fight corruption. One way is to keep the love of life and light burning deep in the darkness. One of its faces is this constant pulse for freedom and awareness. Some people think that talking about this hope and this throbbing story is meaningless. This is not. It's not a free story. Life is a stream. A girl who comes to Kabul from Daikundi and rents a room, lives and studies with an old aluminum pot, a small gas canister, a plastic ruler. Her heart is strong. Her mind is full of positive power. Her soul is filled with the dream of freedom, openness, and well-being. This strong heart, positive mind, and a dreamy soul is exactly what will pull Afghanistan out of the depths of darkness. Millennials play a big role in cultivating this space. Why am I asking these things, you ask? Because I see that some millennials only emphasize the dark side of their collective experience at such times. Thank you.
Next, we'll hear from Ms. Mariam Hussain.
Education is what our world today is based off of. It's crucial to acquire and preach knowledge in Islam. Young girls in Afghanistan, especially Hazaras, have been denied this right. They risk their lives every day to get something we often take for granted, education. Saving our women means saving our future. People are being murdered for looking a certain way when they're all from the same country. We are watching Afghanistan crumble. Our Hazara people are now being taken away from cruel and inhumane genocide, and our future is being taken away from the rejection of allowing the basic right of knowledge. The fear and heartbreak of the families of the victims is something that can never be taken away. It is our duty, not as Muslims, not as Sunni, not as Shia, not even as Afghan, but as humans to stand together and to put an end to this. Thank you.
Next, we're going to hear from Ms. Zaha Ibrahimi.
I'm Zoha Ibrahimi. I came to the United States of America in 2019, and now I'm a student in Dodge Elementary School, and I'm Hazara. My throat was cut in Zabul, and my hand said goodbye to me in the Hazan. My heart was broken in Sarah Kariz. My Quran was burned in Al-Zahra Mosque. My geography was burned in Sayyid Shuhada High School, and my feet were placed in Mawand Wrestling Club. I left my identity in the Taskira branch, and my pen broke in Mawood Educational Center. My math turned into ashes in Abdul Rahim Shahid High School. My dream tree remained in Kausar Danish and Kaj Educational Centers, Western. And every piece of me was cut in every part of Afghanistan in crime of being Hazara. In crime of being Hazara. Stop Hazara genocide. Thank you.
Last but not least, we're going to hear from Ms. Zahra Rizai. Is she here today?
Hello everyone. Before I start my lecture, I want to thank you all for joining us in this protest. Today we are here to mourn for the stolen lives of our Hazara youth in horrific suicide attack on the Kaj Educational Center in Dashtibarchi, Kabul, Afghanistan. On September 30th, a suicide attack inside the Kaj Educational Center in the Dashtibarchi district of West Kabul, Afghanistan, claimed the lives of 35 girls and young women belonging to the Hazara community. Over 82 others were injured in the attack. The attack was perpetrated as the students had been sitting for a practice exam. No group has claimed responsibility for this attack as yet. However, the Hazara community has been subjected to targeted attacks by ISK and the Taliban. The Hazara community has encountered decades of persecution in Afghanistan. Since the Taliban takeover, the targeting of the Hazara is said to have increased, and the attacks enjoyed impunity. The situation of Hazara requires an urgent response, including investigating the atrocities and prosecuting the perpetrators. As these steps are now being taken by the Taliban, the International Criminal Court must engage. I would like to read you all a writing that was written by Marzieh Mohammadi, an 18-year-old who lost her life in horrific suicide attack in Koch Educational Center. Living in the cage, we're alive but don't know how our days and nights are going. For our suffering, there is no beginning and no end. In this city, everyone has forgotten their way of living. Probably we all knew once, but not anymore. Do you know what living in a cage looked like? Maybe you have never lived in one, but those of us here know that life inside the cage is gradual death. So every moment is death. We girls of this land are like caged pigeons. Our freedom has been taken away to the extent that others determine even our fate. Is there anything else that we can decide for ourselves? No, none left for us. They consider themselves powerful, while their level is lower than that of the ignorant. Yes, this is life in a cage. Thank you.